Hi and welcome to another episode. It's been a little while again. Bad health and all that. Basically, my left hand sometimes wants to have blood in it, and sometimes it doesn't, and sometimes it wants to have too much in it, and sometimes it doesn't. We'll see in the new year what the GP says. Anyway, let's get back to the Big Box Amiga Games with a little box, Big Box Amiga Games. This is obviously from one of the first A500, all-in-one buy an Amiga, get a game with it. One of the quite famous ones with getting the Batman game with it. Not a lot to it because it came from there. It's not got barcodes and all that sort of stuff. And let's see what's inside. So just the one floppy disk. And a manual, which is basically just a piece of paper. Lots of different languages. Some hints and tips on how to get going through the levels. I wonder how many people actually bother to look at the very back of that. And there's that one. So not very interesting, that one, because there's no photos of the game or anything like that, but it does say, please note for your convenience this game is on one disc only. Why did they even bother to say that? Was there ever a 2-disc version? Who knows? Probably you lot, because I don't. Let's go on to the next game. This one's been battered around a little bit. Sadly there's a bit of a rip there and everything. It says buy 3 get 1 free. I don't know which shop was doing that. Does it actually say there? Offer ends 31st of October 1991. See inside for details. So back in the day they actually let you look inside. It is actually called Rocket Ranger, and it came out in, does it have any years here? No. I'm guessing it was out on the Commodore 64 because of the zap there. But in 1991 this came out, and it's by Cineware. So let's have a bit of a zoom in on the fantastic graphics of the Amiga. Whoa, there we go. So yeah, there's screenshots from the Amiga. So they seem pretty good, those. Let's zoom back out again. And for those that are watching this video before the other ones, all these games basically came with an Amiga that I bought. It's not like I've had them all my life from being a kid or anything like that, so sadly all this damage and everything is from them. Let's have a look inside. So 2 discs. It actually says Reel 1 and Reel 2. Ooh. Security code on a bit of card, and it's got countries of the world, which is supposed to figure out a good reference and then put the code in. Come on, there we go, and a small manual, all in English in this case. Oh, there's some bit in the middle here. Oh, mirror image, free mirror image game. Collect 3 of these offers pages from the mirror image products and send them below to the address, and you can claim a free mirror image game from the range listed below. So you could get free game Speedball, Carrier Command, Rocket Ranger, Defender of the Crown, Strike Force Harrier, Xenon 2, Blood Witch, and 3 Stooges and 3D Pool. So that's what it's all about on the front there. So if you bought 3 of these games, you got a 4th one for free, which isn't too bad. So, but yeah, seems to be a bit of a storyline, and it talks about the ST as well, so it must have come out on that as well. There we go. No registration card though, what a shame. And then the next one is Paranoid 90 by Hewson. This one it says it goes all the way up to the Amiga 2000 and you needed at least 512K of memory. Nothing too fancy on the edges. On the back it points out it came out in 1990. Let's zoom in on the graphics again. There's some interesting graphics. So it seems to be a top-down game. As always, the drawing is better than the graphics and actually in game. Let's try to separate this box. It's one of those ones where it doesn't come apart so easy. There we go. Again, just the one disc. Basically it's the drawing that's actually on the box as well, but in black and white. Some instructions in lots of different languages. Transfer the game. Ooh. So there seems to be a fair bit to actually learn and get on with that as well, like the other ones. This obviously came out on the ST as well. Hey, registration card! Congratulations! Of course it's by Ubisoft. Ubisoft. Not Ubisoft. Is it Ubisoft or Ubisoft? Anyway, and off it went to France. Put that one back inside. And then to the last game for today. Sports Boxing 4D. It needs a whopping 1 megabyte of memory and it talks about the 3000. Nothing too fancy on the sides, apart from a barcode and a arrow pointing nowhere. Sadly this box has been a bit crushed, so I'll try to keep the glare out of the way. So yeah, 4D graphics, which is basically 3D graphics, but it was all a thing back then, wasn't it? With here's the fourth dimension of realism, and the action is amazingly real. Yeah, debatable. Made in 1990 by Distinctive Software. So let's get inside this box. The sleeve. We've seen one of these before, haven't we, with Mindscape. Oh, I shall leave that there. Let's see if we can get in this wonderful crushed side. So yeah, this is the weird thing of, because it's been crushed, it's not coming off so easy. We've got 2 floppy disks. The first time in a while that we've actually seen like a nice printed label. It's more professional looking, maybe. It's the first time I think we've actually seen it, actually, isn't it? Quite a thick manual, lots of different languages, telling you how to do this, that and the other. It seems that you have to use the numeric keypad and well, basically the QWERTY side of it on the left hand side, you know, the ASD and W, but all 9 keys there. Let's have a look at that, let's try to find that. Yeah. So this is a game then that you would not be able to play on the 600. I have said before to people that there's games out there that a 600 you're not going to get too far on it, but it says fire button is left shift, or the tab key. Oh no, fire button number 1 is left shift, and so I mean, let's try to figure this one out. So it's left hand keys and right hand keys. Do you have to use them? You will see a selection of panel along and choose the input device for your red or blue boxer. Ah, I see. So if you, I'm assuming if you're a red box or a blue box. It depends on which side you're using. So maybe it would mean that you can't use it if you're just doing keys. But I would have a minute. So we can play on the 600 because it says select input device if you wish to use from the 2 joysticks and 2 keyboard options. So there we go. Never actually played this. Select options of the joystick first. On the game options menu using the keyboard, and as described, I use the joystick to move flashing cursors and press fire button 1. So yes, you can play this on the 600. Ah well. But not if you want to use keyboard for 2 players. So not the end of the world, because I suppose most people have got joysticks and everything nowadays, but not everyone had 2 joysticks back in the day, unless they were sort of from a family where there was more than one kid playing on the Amiga or on the console or computer. But it seems you can move the camera around and all that sort of stuff. I'll have to get this one going, I think, and have a look at some point. So I've not had any recommendations yet, apart from Star Trek, on what other games to play, or if I have, I've forgotten, please remind me. So an amendment to the manual, so you can still play it with 512k, but it seems that it may well be better with 1 megabyte, because I'm assuming it will load more of it into memory instead of having to swap disks all the time. And we've got a registration card. Whoa. Not that it matters anymore, and the number, but yep, they wanted to know everything about you, and they wanted to know if you had a printer, because I guess back in the day that might have shown you had a bit more money still, because you know, having a printer back in the day was a pricey thing to own. They weren't like £30 like they are nowadays. Basically, it's got to a point it's cheaper to buy a new printer than it is to buy print cartridges, hasn't it? Back in the day with the, what was the quite common printer back in the day? Citizen 120D colour or something like that. Anyway, put all this back in. I hope that was interesting for the people who actually do bother to watch these. Let's try getting some more of these done next week. Come on, box. Yes, I want to get these going again next week, and I've got some ideas for some other stuff. I want to get back to the Archimedes and try to build some memory for that. I want to get back to the MSX, because there's been a firmware update for that cartridge. There's, what else is there? There's an update for something else as well, which I forgot right this minute. But yeah, there's a few things I want to get going. I've sent off for some more bits and pieces for a project for the living room. I'm not too sure how I'm going to show you that actually being used, but I'm going to show you why I've done it when it arrives. But the parts are coming on a slow boat from China, so it'll be around Christmas time before they arrive. Oh yes, because this is a crushed box, has to go that way around. But as always, happy gaming.